Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Oh, Donald Trump's really upset with Fox News. Oh, bless. What's going on with that, you ask? Well, when Trump was in front of a crowd of supporters in Wisconsin on a rally today, Saturday, I record this on September 28th, which is a Saturday around 6:30 p.m. West Coast time, Pacific time. He slammed Fox News because they had the nerve to air Vice President Harris her remarks after visiting the southern border in Arizona on Friday. Quote, "I have to sit there and listen to her bull beep last night. And who puts it on? Fox News. And they shouldn't be allowed to put it on because everything that Harris says is a lie." Somebody's a little bit upset. Further, Trump was saying for almost 4 years, border czar. Now, this is what the Republicans call Kamala Harris as the border czar. There's no such title. She's never called herself that. Nobody's referred to her as that. They're just basically trying to make the border issue Kamala Harris's fault. Which is, remember, Trump wanted to run on the border, which is why he told the Republicans to kill the bipartisan border bill. They had a chance to fix it. They're not interested in fixing it. They're interested in politicizing it. Back to the quote. After almost 4 years, Kamala Harris has decided, for political reasons, that it's time for her to go to our broken southern border. What a disgrace that she waited so long, allowing millions of people to enter the country from prisons, mental, it's blah, 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 the same old thing. Well, of course it's political that she's going down there because you all make it a political thing, so she has to do the political thing and go down and visit the southern border. Fine, whatever. She said that she will, fix the border issue. She will stop the flow of illegal drugs in there, and she'll be tougher on the border than Trump, which I'm sure set him off into a tizzy. So I want to look at, first off, let's look at Trump and Kamala Harris in the border, and then we'll follow up about Trump being upset with Fox News for showing it. He basically saying they shouldn't be allowed to do that. What are you going to do? Pull their license? Like everybody who does something you don't like, you're going to threaten to pull their license, arrest them, jail them? What a little dictator you are. You're so upset. Don't you wish you were the leader of North Korea where you could actually do these things? So let's be entertained with our entertainment purposes only. What's going on with Donald Trump, Kamala Harris? Let's just look at the southern border real quick, okay? You got the moon card, the mystery, what to do with the border. And here's the funny thing. You got these two towers and then the road splitting it like a border. And here's your Rio Grande too. As folks are trying to deal with the southern border issue. And again, somebody leaving emotional angst crossing a water feature to get this basically represents immigrants leaving their home country and their emotional support area to come to the United States to try and make a better life because life is untenable at home. Underneath it all is the 9 of coins. Honestly, these immigrants that are coming over, or these refugees, if you will, they're coming over for a better life. They're leaving everything they value behind in order to try and start a new life here. If they had their druthers, they'd rather be home with their family and support network. But drugs, gangs, corruption are forcing them to go someplace where one political party has made it abundantly clear they're not welcome. But they're still willing to chance it anyways for the promise of a better life. Pardon me for a second, I'm going to turn on the light here. And we're back with more light. In the past, the King of Wands. The whole reason we have a problem with the southern border isn't Joe Biden. It isn't Donald Trump. This goes all the way back to U.S. policy under Reagan with funding wars for the Contras and stuff like that in Central America. And the fallout from those wars that have happened and are still happening today. This is basically U.S. policy has caused the problems there, and U.S. policy is what can fix those problems. Current situation, 5 of Cups. There's really no good answer in place. The bipartisan bill that the Republicans crafted gives the Republicans everything they've ever wanted on the border for like the last 30 years. And nowhere in there is there anything for the dreamers, for the people that are already here. So, yeah, it addresses some of the issues, but not all the issues are being addressed. Overarching energy is the Hanged Man. This is kind of like the damned if you do, damned if you don't. There really needs to be a different approach to the southern border. You can't just, put up a wall, line it with barbed wire and machine gun nests and expect that's going to fix your problem. Part of the problem is also the courts and, ruling whether or not people can be here or not. It takes too long to do the whole process. The lesson to be learned is the death card. You have to take this whole issue with the southern border as it's a macro issue. It's got microclimates in, but you have to take the whole issue and approach it in a different way to bring to a close the current situation. Notice that you've got the 2 towers here with the sun, and here's the 2 towers with the sun with the moon eclipsing it. We're on the path, but you just can't close it off. There's more to it than that. It's multifaceted. The outcome is the Page of Swords. It's time for some new ideas, some fresh energy with regards to that. And part of it will be the Dreamers Act. What are you going to do for the young people that are already here? Their parents came over. They maybe don't have the documentation. They've lived in the United States their whole life. Deporting them to whatever country their parents came from is almost like cruel and unusual punishment. They've done nothing wrong. They've lived in this country the whole time. Or if they came over as young children, they weren't born here because they wouldn't be citizens that way. If they came over as toddlers or babies, they've only known the United States. There's no sense in being cruel to these people. It doesn't serve any purpose. All right, as we keep you down here. What is Trump thinking about the southern border as a political tool, cudgel, if you will? How is that working out for him? I mean, when Kamala Harris goes down there and says she's going to fix it and she's stronger than Trump, you're taking away one of the few things that he feels like he can offer people. How's he feeling about that, King of Coins? Yeah, this is kind of his thing of value. I don't know if this is the oligarchs or not, but this is the one thing of value that he can he can bring to his base, and he knows that the base will eat it up. Crossed with the Page of Wands. He also makes a lot of money off of it. When you talk about doing stuff like that, the money comes in. You know how Bannon got busted for skimming? Trump skims too. There's kickbacks here with that. Yeah, there's a lot of fundraising that comes with it, but there's also kickbacks. Like he sells the contracts type things and gets kickbacks for it. That's one of the reasons why he's a big fan of building the wall, because he knows how to work the system, so he personally financially benefits from it. In the past, you got the Ace of Cups. He knows he plays on people's emotions, their fears, angers, their prejudices, their racism, as it were. Current situation is the Four Swords. He's not getting the traction with it as much as he used to. It's kind of interesting. Things are calming down maybe a little bit on the border, and he keeps saying millions of asylum people have come over, millions have come in here. But if that were the case, there'd be a lot of data for it. People aren't reacting as strongly to it. And the fact that Kamala Harris says she's going to do something about it steals his thunder and makes it not as big an issue, because where before he could say, Biden let the border wide open, and Kamala Harris like, no, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to shut things down. It's not like Trump's against abortion, she's for abortion. It's real obvious they're agreeing on it, and that's pissing Trump off, because if they agree on it, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, people can vote for Kamala Harris and get the border under control. So it defangs him. It cuts him off at the knees. Overarching energy is the devil card. Yeah, he's playing on people's racism. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Their racism, their fear, the isolationism. Oh, and he gets to make money. And it gives him control because there's the big bad immigrant coming in here and only I can solve it. You need to follow me. The lesson to be learned is the Nine of Swords, though. He's suffering with a bunch of anxiety because he's losing the narrative. If he doesn't have this, he doesn't have anything to win the election with. And if he doesn't win the election, it means he can't make all these criminal cases go away that he's facing. Out comes the Four of Wands. Expect him to just absolutely go crazy with the border. He's going to now be focusing on the border, building his wall, deporting people. Expect even more unhinged comments from him about the border and what he's going to do to protect it. What he's going to do to people, travelers that come across the border. Because literally, he's got to think of it this way. He has to differentiate himself from Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris isn't going to build the wall. So he's going to have to focus on that. Kamala Harris said she's going to take care of the border issue and she's going to be tough. Well, if she's going to take care of the border issue and she's going to be tough, he's got to be tougher. Because that's like, it truly is like the only plank he can offer. And if you're starting to blend and get closer together, he's got to get more extreme to appeal to those people that are fearful of the southern border. Let's look at Kamala Harris's outlook on the southern border and what she plans on doing with it and how she thinks things are going here. We got the Ten of Swords popping up. We'll just leave that out. We'll do a good Lord, I've got cards flipping up all over the place here. I'm going to have 3 signifiers in this one. And you'll see 2 of them right now. Ten of Swords and Queen of Pentacles. Got to put an end to the issue on the border. Show that you care. Show that you value things. There's a practical way to solve this problem. What's the other one? There's that Four of Swords. And it's calming things down. By saying that she's going to take care of the border. Don't worry about it. We got this. We're going to put an end to drugs coming in that are killing our people. It's going to calm people's fears down. And that's the one thing Donald Trump doesn't want. And that was the current situation. People are getting calmer. They're getting a little more complacent, feeling at ease with what's going on in the southern border. What's going to cross this? The Two of Cups. There's going to be agreement. We're back to the bipartisan bill in Congress that's gone through. And Kamala Harris is going to, the calm after the storm, it's going to say, you know what? We've got this bipartisan bill. We're going to put this into play. It's all ready to go. All you need to do is vote on it and it's through. It's there. The agreement's already there. We can fix this thing yesterday. In the past, the Three of Coins, bipartisan bill has been worked out between Democratic and Republican senators. It passed the Senate. Mike Johnson killed it. And you can point out that. And she does point out how this bill was here. And we can put this whole problem to bed if they would just sign the bill, the bipartisan bill. Queen of Wands. The childless cat ladies. This is Kamala Harris saying, I'm ready to do it. It's here. I'm ready to do it. Pressure Mike Johnson to put this to a vote. Temperance is the overarching energy. It's the detoxification. We pass this bill. It just takes things down a notch. I think what would happen next is she would probably look for a bipartisan bill for the Dreamers Act and things along those lines and the court system to speed things up in the courts. The lesson to be learned is the Nine of Wands. She's got to keep battling with this one. This issue of the borders not going away, so keep going on it. Talk about how they've added funding for additional border security. That's in the bill. as well. You don't need a wall. You got security to deal with all this. And the outcome is the Eight of Cups. Kamala Harris understands what's going on from a geopolitical sense here. The other thing I think they really need to work on is getting the message out that the people coming here aren't criminals. And that if they pass the bipartisan legislation, you're going to stop the criminals coming in. You're going to stop the drugs coming in. You're going to have the people coming in that actually want to work and make America great again. Sorry to use their little anachronism there. Make America great. It's the people it's the immigrant that's come in here and done all the heavy lifting in this country. There have been so many different ways of immigration in this country. The original folks coming over were English, and you had Germans coming over, political or religious prisoners or people looking for those freedoms. And not in any particular order, because I don't know the chronological order, but you had the Irish come in, you had the Italians come in, you had the Chinese come in, and then you started having Mexicans, Central Americans, South Americans coming in, all to experience the American dream. In the 70s, we had the Vietnamese boat people. That was like the first time in my lifetime that I was understanding that people from other countries were coming to the United States. I imagine you had a lot of Cubans that came in when Castro took power. Gosh, what else? Just all sorts of groups around the world coming in, trying to look for a better life, fleeing political turmoil in their home countries. And every new immigrant that's come in has been vilified by those already here. Okay, so we've looked at Trump's view. We've looked at Harris's view. I want to look at, lastly here, I want to look at Trump and Fox News. What's their relationship like? Because, here's Fox doing something that Trump doesn't like, and he's having an absolute tantrum, filling up his diaper with just Trump, Fox News. What's that looking like going forward here? It's going to be a much more difficult relationship between the two of them. In some ways, Fox News is like, you're not the boss of us. We're going to keep reporting on certain things, whether you like it or not. Three of Wands underneath. Trump, I think, is going to start issuing veiled threats towards them or reaching out behind the scenes with them. But I think they're moving on. I think Fox News and Fox Entertainment is understanding that Trump may not be long in a political career here. In the past, the Two of Pentacles, they made a lot of money off of Trump, and they also paid off a lot of money with the Smartmatic voting systems lawsuits. And if Trump's on the decline, then what do they do with this guy? They made a lot of money off him, but they may not be able to make a lot of money off of him going forward. Current situation, the Strength card. It's time for Fox News to they're starting to flex a little bit. They're letting Trump know who's the boss. Now, mind you, if Trump gets elected, he's going to go after Fox News and the people that are standing against him. I don't think Fox thinks he's going to get elected, so they can be a little bit more standoffish with him. Overarching energy is the Ten of Cups. Oh, the wonderful America card here. Trump and Fox News. Fox reaches a lot of Americans, and they are, it's almost like there's that gentle transition, because Fox viewers are going to want to see Kamala Harris is taking the border seriously. And Trump is livid because it's helping Harris's campaign. It's hurting his. That's why. Expect more of the same from Fox. They're looking more to the future. They're planning on the future. They don't think Trump is going to make it. And they sure as hell don't want to be sued again. You got the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands here. The lesson to be learned is, Trump is kind of the past, and they're looking towards the future here. and they'll throwing Harris a little bit of a bone here, a little bit of a PR win, may help them avoid a bunch of fines and government action later. I honestly think Fox News is more scared of Kamala Harris being elected than Donald Trump being elected. And the reason why I say that is probabilities. Kamala Harris can do some financial penalties or do some things to make Fox Entertainment's life difficult. And there could be financial repercussions for it. Trump could shut them down completely and like publicly execute their board of directors. So who's more severe? Oh, Trump would be more severe. But you have to multiply those severities by the probability that they get elected. So if Fox thinks it's 90% likely that Kamala Harris is going to be elected and only 10% that Trump is going to be elected, do you let that 10% of I'm going to be publicly executed override the 90% chance of we're going to get our wrist slapped? And if we don't throw her a bone, we're going to get our wrist slapped really, really hard. It's the probability type thing, and I think Fox is playing that. All right, so I'm ending it here. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. I hope you found this reading insightful. It is meant for entertainment purposes only, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.